Hello dear students. In the previous video we discussed about the analysis of brass part 1. In that video we discussed about the sampling, dissolution and separation of various constituents which are present in brass. Okay, next continuation. Determination of constituents which are present in brass. Generally in this determination we need to follow the order of first one, determination of tin, secondly determination of lead, next determination of copper, next determination of iron, and last determination of zinc. This is the order to analyze the brass sample. Okay, first of all, determination of tin. How can we determine tin in brass? So to this, add means you need to take 1 gram of sample, that is brass sample, in a beaker, and then add 15 ml of concentrated HNO3 and add 10 ml water. Okay, so addition of concentrated HNO3 and water is only for the dissolution of brass sample, okay, in a beaker. Next, cover the beaker with watch glass. Next, heat at the temperature 80 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius and evaporate the beaker containing solution till the solution volume is come to 5 ml to 10 ml, but not until the dryness. Okay, right. Then the purpose is to precipitate metastannic acid. Why? Because our intention is to determine tin. So metastannic acid is precipitated and then add 50 ml water to reduce the viscous nature. Why? Because in 5 to 10 ml volume that solution is more viscous. Okay, so to reduce the viscosity of the solution you need to add 50 ml water and then heat about for 10 minutes at the temperature 90 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. After that, filter the solution. Next, the filtrate is kept for the further analysis. Why? Because the precipitate contains tin in the form of metastannic acid and the filtrate contains remaining constituents. What are they? Lead, copper, iron and zinc. Okay, so for further analysis filtrate is set apart and precipitate is washed with 1:20 HNO3 for 10 times. Why? Because if there is any another constituent then it will be washed away by treating it with or washing it with 1:20 HNO3 for 10 times. Then the filter paper kept in a pre-weighed porcelain crucible, then heat it to low temperature to dry the filter paper, then heat it to 200 degrees Celsius to 300 degrees Celsius to char the filter paper, then ignite the residue at 900 degrees Celsius for half an hour and then cool it and weigh as SnO2. Okay, then metastannic acid, after ignition it will be converted into SnO2. Okay, then what is the note here? Along with residue, iron, copper, zinc also precipitated if residue is brown in color, the presence of Fe2O3. If it is dark grey in color, presence of cupric oxide. Why? Because some amount of these iron and copper may present. If the color is brown in color, then Fe2O3 may present. If it is in dark grey color, then cupric oxide may present. Okay, they are the impurities. Okay, right. Next, percentage of tin calculation is equal to weight of the SnO2 by weight of sample into factor. How can you calculate the factor here? Atomic weight of tin by molecular weight of SnO2. So it will give the factor, that is 0.7876 into 100. Okay. Then what are the reactions? Tin, when reacted with HNO3 and water, it can produce metastannic acid and nitrogen oxide, and on further heating of metastannic acid, further heating can produce the precipitate SnO2 and water. Okay, right. This is the procedure to determine the tin which is present in brass sample. So what is the procedure? Just dissolve the brass sample in HNO3 and add water. Next, evaporate the beaker containing solution until the volume of the solution come to 5 ml to 10 ml, and precaution is not to until dryness. The purpose is to precipitate metastannic acid, and then add 50 ml of water to reduce the viscous nature of the solution. Next, heat it at the temperature 90 to 100 degrees Celsius about 10 minutes, then filter the solution, and the filtrate is kept for further analysis, and the precipitate is washed with 1:20 HNO3 for 10 times. The filter paper kept in a pre-weighed porcelain crucible. Heat it to low temperature to dry the filter paper, and then heat it to 200 to 300 degrees Celsius to char the paper. Ignite the residue at 900 degrees Celsius for half an hour. Cool it and weigh as SnO2. Then percentage of tin calculation by using this formula, weight of SnO2 into factor into 100 by weight of sample. And what are the reactions? Sn, when reacted with HNO3 and water, it can produce metastannic acid, and this metastannic acid, after heating, it can produce the SnO2 precipitated out. Okay, so this is the procedure to determine the tin. Okay, what is the second constituents to be determined? Is lead. So what is the procedure to determine lead? Let us discuss. Okay, to the filtrate after washing from metastannic acid, acidify with 3 to 4 ml of H2SO4 solution. Then boil the solution till white fumes of SO3 are evolved. If white fumes not obtained, again acid is added and boil. Why? Because white fumes indicates the evolution of SO3. So that is the reason why, if white fumes not obtained, again acid is added and boil. The purpose is to precipitate lead as lead sulfate. Okay, and excess is evolved in the form of SO3. Then cool the solution to room temperature, and then wash the sides of the beaker with 15 to 20 ml of water, If H2SO4 is sprinkled on the sides of the beaker, water is added to sides and boiled to expel SO3 as white dense fumes. Okay. Then boiling of solution is done to evaporate nitrate ions as present in the solution. If nitrate is present, it enhances the solubility of PbSO4. So, to prevent the solubility of lead sulfate, we need to evaporate the nitrate ions. So, second evaporation is done to remove the traces of nitrate ion, and again cool the solution and then add 25 ml of water and heat near to boiling for 3 to 4 minutes to dissolve the soluble salt by proper stirring. Then add 50 ml of water. If it is not voluminous, allow to stand for 2 hours for settlement of the precipitate. Filter the lead sulfate precipitate and it is kept in a pre-weighed silica or platinum or porcelain crucible. Then precipitate is washed with cold H2SO4, saturate with lead sulfate solution and again wash it with 1:50 H2SO4 2 to 3 times. Then the precipitate dried at 100 to 150 degrees Celsius about 10 minutes and ignite the precipitate for 500 to 600 degrees Celsius. Cool and weigh it in the form of PbSO4. Then the percentage of lead is equal to weight of PbSO4 into factor, that is 0.6833 into 100 by weight of the sample. Just I wish to conclude it. Take the filtrate and add excess H2SO4, then heat it for the evolution of SO3 gas if excess is present, then cool to room temperature, and then if any sulfuric acid is there on the beakers, then wash the beaker walls with water and again heat to expel the SO3. After that heat it for some time to expel nitrate ion also. Why? Because if nitrate is there, it will increase the solubility of PbSO4. So to prevent that, the nitrate ion should be expelled. So that is the reason why you need to heat it again and again. After that, after removal of white dense fumes of SO3 and brown fumes of nitrate ion, after that you need to add water and then stand for 2 hours for the complete settlement of PbSO4. After that, filter PbSO4 and precipitate is kept in a pre-weighed silica or platinum or porcelain crucible. Next, precipitate is washed with cold H2SO4, saturate with lead sulfate solution and again wash with 1:50 H2SO4 2 to 3 times. Then precipitate dried at 100 degrees Celsius to 150 degrees Celsius about 10 minutes and ignite the precipitate for 500 to 600 degrees Celsius. Cool and weigh it in the form of PbSO4. Then percentage of lead is equal to weight of lead sulfate into 0.6833 into 100 by weight of the sample. So this is the procedure to determine the lead in brass sample solution. Next one is determination of copper in brass. So there are two methods are there. First one is electrolysis method. Okay. So after removal of lead, concentrate the solution to 100 ml with 5 ml concentrated ammonium hydroxide and 2 ml HNO3 to maintain the acidity and good copper deposition on cathode. Why? Because this is electrolysis method. So in this method we need to place the beaker, covered the electrodes by applying constant current for 1 to 2 hours and allowed it to stand overnight. After electrolysis, remove the cathode from beaker, wash thoroughly with acetone or alcohol to remove any soluble substance. So now place the cathode in an oven heated to 100 degrees Celsius and remove after 2 to 3 minutes, cool to room temperature and wait. The difference of the cathodes means the difference in weight of the cathodes before and after the electrolysis gives the amount of copper which is deposited on the cathode. From it calculate the percentage of copper in the sample. Generally the increase in weight of anode is PbO2 and increase in weight of cathode is copper. Increase in weight of cathode is copper. So percentage of lead is equal to weight of PbO2 into 0.8643 into 100 by weight of sample. If you wanted to calculate the percentage of copper, then weight of metallic copper into 100 by weight of the sample. Then what should you do here? Simple. In this procedure we need to add 5 ml NH4OH and 2 ml HNO3 to maintain the acidity and good conductivity, good copper deposition on cathode. So place the beaker covered with electrodes by applying constant current 1 to 2 hours and allow it to stand overnight. After electrolysis, remove the cathode from the beaker and wash it thoroughly with acetone or alcohol to remove any soluble substance. Now place the cathode in an oven heated to 100 degrees Celsius and remove after 2 to 3 minutes to cool to room temperature and wait. The difference of the cathodes, that is initial weight of the cathode and final weight of the cathode, gives the amount of copper deposited. From this calculate the percentage of copper formula by using formula weight of metallic copper by weight of sample into 100. And you can use another method for the determination of copper, that is gravimetric method by using thiocyanate reagent. So to the filtrate obtained after determination of tin and lead taken in a 400 ml beaker, evaporate to 250 ml, then neutralize the free acid with 1% ammonia and then add few drops of HCl and sulfurous acid or ammonium bisulfite solution to reduce copper 2 to copper 1, then dilute to 150 ml with water before precipitating copper, heat to boil. On hot condition, add freshly prepared 10% ammonium thiocyanate solution. Why? Because as it is thiocyanate method, you need to add the reagent, that is ammonium thiocyanate solution, slowly by stirring, preferably in 5 to 6 portions. Addition is continued till no more precipitate is formed. While precipitate of cuprous thiocyanate is formed, add 1 to 2 drops of excess of reagent so that completion of precipitate of copper 1. Then mother liquor after precipitation is colorless. As sulfurous acid is added, mother liquor gives smell of SO2. This is kept overnight for settlement of precipitate. Filter the precipitate and kept into pre-weighed platinum or silica or porcelain or gouge crucible, and then precipitate washed with alcohol to remove excess amount of ammonium thiocyanate. Then dry the precipitate up to constant weight at 110 degrees Celsius to 114 degrees Celsius. Then weigh as copper 1 thiocyanate. Okay. Then by using this formula you can calculate the percentage of copper, that is weight of copper thiocyanate into factor, that is atomic weight of copper by atomic weight of copper thiocyanate into 100 by weight of sample. Then what is the reaction that is takes place here? 2 mole of copper plus 2 mole of thiocyanate and sulfite ion and H2O can produce copper thiocyanate and sulfate ion and H plus ion. Okay. Then what is the procedure? Just for your understanding purpose, I wish to repeat it once again. To the filtrate obtained after removal of or determination of tin and lead, then evaporate to 250 ml volume, then neutralize free acid with 1% ammonia, add few drops of HCl, then add sulfurous acid or ammonium bisulfite solution to reduce copper 2 to copper 1, then add the ammonium thiocyanate solution after stirring and some other processes, then it can produce copper 1 thiocyanate. Okay, precipitate. Then by using this formula you can calculate the percentage of copper. Okay, so in this video we learnt about 3 constituents determinations in brass. One is determination of tin, second one is determination of lead, and third one is determination of copper. Okay, thank you for your kind attention to this video. Thank you.